So I didn't believe that this is true. What we're about to go through in today's video genuinely shocked me to the point where I feel I have to share this with you guys. Now, the past few days, I've been doing an absolute ton of research, and I'm going to be starting this series now going through a lot of the inconsistencies that are to do with free speech, freedom to access the internet, and also our personal data and personal privacy on this channel. They're all things that I'm going to be covering over the next couple of weeks. But what I found out today makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist. It makes me sound like someone that's talking about all of these crazy conspiracies on the internet. But this is right there in front of us. So with the new Online Safety Act that the UK government have put in place, they've essentially said that the reason why they're doing it is for the protection of children. Now, of course, we knew that there's more to it than that. It's not about the protection of children, and clearly they have ulterior motives, mainly being able to see what people are actually doing online. But there's a whole different agenda going on here, and I don't think enough people are potentially talking about it. I'm keen to know what you think down below. Now, for the past year, I've used a VPN whenever I'm on the internet. So I've been seeing the internet as if I was an American or someone in France. I just get it to bounce around different locations all the time. You can get your VPN down below. Yes, you get 4 months free and 80-something% off. Do that. Supports the channel. But what I didn't realize is when I turn my VPN off, my search results are entirely different. Like completely different. Let me give you an example. At the moment, we know that there's been protests outside of hotels. There's been various court cases. There's a lot of controversy when it comes to migrants coming to the UK, all of this stuff. We're not going to get into the geopolitics of that right now, but we know that it's a trending topic on social media and a lot of people are talking about it. And pretty much every major news outlet has published a publication of some form about it. Well, there's a few incidents that have involved refugees in hotels. And when you Google refugee hotel incident UK, with a VPN on, you're likely to see this. With a VPN off, you're likely to see this. Now, I'm all up for child protections. Of course I am. But this has nothing to do with child protections. Now, if you go over to the news tab, it does indeed show you some of the news information, but on the actual homepage, none of that information's there. It basically gives you an outline of what a refugee is and some contextual information and some various charities about refugees. But when you have your VPN activated, but you set your country on Google as the UK, so it's still in English and shows you UK related news, you basically get like a glitch in the matrix, which actually shows you what's supposed to be in Google search results, but isn't appearing. Now, whatever your politics are either way on this is hiding information from the British public. Now, this really got me thinking, and this really got me exploring different avenues of what the motive might be here and why the search results would be so vastly different. Now, I did double check, just to add this as a little caveat, I did double check with some people that I know that live in France, live in Germany, and some of the people that use different VPN services, and a few of them have the same instances where Google shows different results for this thing, but all of them showed at least some news reports. But nearly everyone that was using a VPN was seeing news reports about these incidents, and it was only the people that have relatively fresh or new email addresses that weren't seeing that. They were seeing things like definitions and watered down versions of the internet. Now, all of this by itself is just a bit iffy. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But then we need to add something else into the equation, and this is the real kicker. The UK government have just introduced the ability for 16-year-olds to vote in the UK. Now, 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds will now have the ability to influence who comes into power into the UK. And they're also the same people that can't see any of this content unless they have a VPN. So basically, the UK government is censoring real-world events from 16 and 17-year-olds in the hope that those extra few percentage of people, the more vocal people tend to be the younger people, those extra 2 years will vote based on information that they don't have access to. Let me just reiterate that. Let me just rehash that again. The government is censoring information from people that they've just given the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate voting factory to now go and tell them to make decisions about the future of our country. Now, I'm pretty confident that most 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds, especially boys, will probably be using a VPN right about now. So hopefully this won't be affecting them. But something's not right about the fact that within a 14-day period of them allowing 16-year-olds to vote in the UK, they then go and introduce an act that prohibits those same people from having access to the same information to allow them to make informed decisions. Look, I know this sounds conspiratorial in nature, and I know I might sound absolutely batshit crazy, but the facts are there. Content is getting hidden from social media. Content's been hidden on Reddit, on X, and many other platforms. If you're not connected to a VPN, or if you're not able to verify and prove your age, the version of the internet you're seeing is the version of the internet that has been watered down. And the same people that are seeing this watered down version of the internet, which doesn't show all of the controversial things that are happening in the UK, are the same people that are being allowed to vote. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the people, by the way. This isn't a people problem. This isn't a British public problem. Some people watching this even may not have any interest at all in whether they see this information or not. And do you know what? That's their right to not have that. But it's not the government's right to choose that for you. I think it's absolutely abhorrent. My investigations into all of this stuff and my covering of this topic started off from a place of just straight up anger. I was angry that the UK government was introducing a law where they're taking one small segment of an issue, plastering it as the name and title and the main focus of the issue, and affecting 70 plus million people in the process. But now every time I look into this, I end up going down a wormhole of more and more information and more things that really make me worry about the future of the UK government. Now, Nigel Farage, and in the past, I've never taken an interest in really any form of politics. My main interest is internet privacy. And now, as this has been introduced, I think I'm about to go on a journey of exploring what my politics are, who I vote for, what decisions are being made. At the moment, Nigel Farage is saying that he's going to write in the Freedom of Speech Act into the UK law, and I can get behind that. And however long I continue doing this channel, we're going to figure out what my politics are. We're going to figure out where I politically stand. It's not going to be a politics-focused channel, but I guess people will be able to read between the lines and see what I believe in. Because at the moment, I know what my core beliefs are about anonymity. I can't say that word, being anonymous on the internet. But I think we're about to go on a bit of a journey to figure out where I politically stand. And yeah, if you want to join me for that ride, make sure you like and subscribe. Just something that I want to drop into the video here as well, and this is something that we all could see coming from a mile away. The fact that they called the Online Safety Act a thing to protect children, and obviously children were the key marketing that they put behind it and the key focus that they put on it, they've now decided to label any single opposition to that as being someone that advocates for indecent behaviour with children. And we actually saw this in the case of Nigel Farage, where he's essentially called a Jimmy Savile defender because he didn't agree with these new online protective laws that were brought in. And this is the thing that I've already had to contend with. Luckily, most of you guys watching this are sane enough to realise that what the UK government is introducing is just a Trojan horse to basically monitor and surveil all our private lives. But it is a very interesting thing where they label something as the protection for one thing, something that everyone can pretty unanimously agree that protecting children is a good thing. But the fact that they've done something so authoritarian and then decided to label any opposition to it as being people advocating for children to be exposed to indecent content on the internet just shows how powerful the narrative can really be. And it's honestly disgusting. Yeah, this is all a bit wild, isn't it? There is so much more stuff that I managed to dig up, some really interesting stuff, and we will be covering that in future videos. Yeah, so if you don't want to be having a censored version of the internet, make sure you go and check out Private Internet Access below. When I first started my gaming channel, they're the first company that ever put faith in me as a gaming YouTuber, and now more than ever, I need them. So yeah, go and show them some love. Link is down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.